Hello everybody and welcome back to Minecraft. So in the last episode we went pretty far into Thaumcraft and made some pretty cool stuff. I've done a ton more Thaumcraft since then, so I wouldn't mind showing you that, and then I think we could do a little bit of home improvement. Let's get to it. Okay, so you might notice a few things that are different from last time on our UI. Over on the left we've got a thing that tells us how healthy our armour is, and our minimap's changed in the top right, and that's because I updated the pack finally, after backing everything up and making sure that not too much was going to break. So our map's changed from, I think it was Zan's or Ray's minimap before, and now we're on Opus, which is quite cool actually. I'm quite glad to have this one. So I've gone out and got all our old waypoints again, but the main reason I like this thing is you can just zoom out and see everywhere that you've been on the map. And as you see, I've been for miles off in different directions. Basically just went and got all our old waypoints that we had, at least the important ones that I wanted to keep. And yes, haven't done much exploring since I updated. Did most stuff beforehand. But hey ho, we'll find some more stuff on there, I'm sure. So yeah, I have got way more into Thaumcraft. That was the other thing. So I want to show you what I've been up to with Thaumcraft for now. Just I thought it would make more sense than watching me craft it in the infusion altar for an hour or so. So I just figured I'd make it all and show you what I did. So I made this pretty awesome great wood staff, which is sweet and stores a ton of viz, stores up to 125 of each, which is pretty nice. And I also made myself a ton more focuses, and I want to show you some of the cooler ones that I'm actually going to be using around here. So we've got our fire one that we had before, which spits out fire, same as always. And some of the other stuff I'm actually going to be using, this equal trade one is pretty sweet. So the equal trade one swaps blocks between what's a place of the world and what's in your inventory. So if I plonk one of them down and then hold shift and right click it, you can see it selected it in the top left and it tells me how many I have in my inventory. So if I then click the ground, or right click the ground even, there we go, it swaps out the dirt for that block, as long as I've got it in my inventory, and all the dirt that was on the floor has come into my inventory instead. Awesome. Let's plonk that back down, shall we? So bink, and that can go there. Because I don't really want a random patch of limestone bricks hanging around. And let's grab these two. Boop. Boop. There we go. Ding. Cool. So that's the cap of equal trade, the focus of equal trade. And another cool one that I'd like to use is portable hole. Oop, got things a little bit glitchy. You kind of have to hold F until you're finished selecting it, and the thing goes away. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit freaky, freak out a little bit. The portable hole focus is kind of what it sounds like. It gives you a portable hole. So I know that my quarry is under here. So if I right click, we have a portable hole. Nyom. Hi quarry, how you doing? Quarry's actually finished, which is cool. Gonna have to set up a new one and get on with that. But hey ho, we have a portable hole, so we can jump into it any time. Great if you're lazy like me and don't like using doors. And also this thing goes on for pretty much ever. Well, almost ever. It goes on for a pretty far distance. Just don't stay in here or you'll get trapped. Like so. Not a fun time, all in all. Generally not so great when you get trapped. I don't know, hopefully be able to dig my way out of here. Maybe. If I could remember which way it was. There it is. Yeah, that seemed like a good idea. Just trap myself in there just to show you that you can do it. And that it's not a good thing to do. That makes sense. We've also got a one of excavation. Yep, the focus of excavation. I keep calling them ones because that's how it was in the old Thaumcraft. Focus, not wand. This thing just lets you dig out of range, which is kind of cool. It's not too shabby, it's not too slow. It's kind of fun. And it could be useful if you just need to dig something above your head or whatever. So why not? I could just dig straight through there. And now I have a hole in my floor. I'm not entirely sure why I just did that. Go away, hole. Oop, there we go, that'll do. And the last one I have is something that was really quite expensive to make and required a lot of research to get into it, but this is the 9 Hells focus. This thing is cool. So let's see, do I have any enemies? Wow, if I drop the darkness down on this, I am so sorry, this is probably really dark for you. There we go. That did not help. I can just barely see some skellies over there. So if I point at them with the 9 health focus, it spawns a fire bat to go and take care of them. Yes! And it has a pretty impressive range as well. If you're not pointing at an enemy, it won't really do anything. But as long as you are pointing at an enemy, you can spawn as many fire bats as you want. Right, you've got the fizz, and they'll kind of go and set them on fire and explode and push them into water. Though fire bats die underwater, so good luck fire bats, have fun with that. Oh yeah, thought that was pretty fun, especially after getting screwed over by fire bats in the nether quite a few times. And that many times actually, yeah. So screw you zombie, you're on fire now, sucks to be you. Only you didn't die. You were supposed to die, thank you. Whoa, oh god, I forgot to turn my jetpack back on, that would help. Alright, so that's all that stuff, and what else did I make? I also made this thing, which is a magic hand mirror. This thing will come in sort of useful. It was just like a base idea of something that I wanted to do, and I figured out a way to make it work, or a fairly obvious way to make it work. So what a magic hand mirror does is it links to this magic mirror. You have to make a magic mirror to make this thing, and you need two of them so you can link them. So right click with the hand mirror, and it makes a link. And then whatever I put into this mirror will come flying out the other one. And I've told these two golems to pick up anything nearby, pop it in this chest, which is then connected to our Applied Energistics system. So anything I chuck into the mirror is then going to get picked up by my golems and put into the system. And I can do that from anywhere in the world whatsoever. So if I just need to randomly clear out my inventory, I can. My golems will take care of it. Job done. So I thought that'd be really useful just for wandering around, so I don't have to worry about picking the best things. I can just chuck it all home. And apparently, as I read in the Thaumcraft, this thing's supposed to take up Viz to use. So I plonked down this jar of Essentia, which has got 64 of whatever that one is. It needed that one apparently. It said it would take 1 Essentia for every 64 blocks that I chucked through the mirror, but it doesn't seem to have drained anything so far. It's still on 64. So, I don't know, that's just kind of there, and I'll leave it to its business, I suppose. If it's not going to want to take the Essentia, that's fine by me. I'll carry on using it. Okay. And, oh, yeah, that's another thing I made. I made elevators, because why not? Elevators are cool. They are just wool and an ender pearl. Dead easy. Then you can just shift and space, jump and crouch, up and down, teleporting. Awesome. Thought it looked a little bit better than stairs. Why not? And let's have a quick look at my Thaumcraft room for stuff that I've done there. So I grabbed some more ore nodes, got a ton of them as best I could. Some of them aren't great, like these ones are just a bit, yeah, I could do with some more order and some more pedito, but hey ho, what can you do? And I also upgraded my jars a bit. These are void jars, so these things are quite useful. So when the normal jars get filled up to their max, the golems just kind of stand there like, yeah, what do I do now? I've got nowhere to put it. Nah. But with the void jars, once they fill up, the golems can fill it up, and any of the excess Essentia is just going to get pumped off into the void, never to be seen again. Basically just gets destroyed, which is fine by me, because most of this stuff is just kind of, you know, not that interesting to me. It's just extra that I don't really need. And the stuff that I really do need, I put into these ethereal jars, which can store about 4 times as much as ordinary jars, I think. So we've got a ton of that stuff as well, because some of these things that I've been crafting require a lot of Essentia, like hundreds and hundreds. So yeah, I think that's about it for Thaumcraft. Cool, so moving on. I'm going to keep holding my wand here because there's a couple of things I quite like having in there. Bing. So the next thing I want to get onto is improving our storage system a bit, I think. And I've already made a bit of a start on that by improving our barrels. If I go and grab and upgrade, oops, upgrade that one, beep, there we go. Then once you're holding an upgrade, you can see the upgrades that I've put on this thing, just because, well, it makes sense, I suppose. So you can see I've put 5 structural upgrades on this thing, which means they're gold. This one's got more or something less. Sorry, that says 3, not 5. I'm confusing myself. 3 structural upgrades and 4 on that one. So that lets me put more and more upgrades on them. So I've put some storage upgrades in to increase the capacity. And I've also, this one in the bottom left there, that's a void upgrade, which is actually surprisingly easy to make. If I look for void, that's not how you spell void, the O goes before the I. That would help. And void upgrade, it's just pistons and obsidian, so that's dead easy to make at this stage. It's insultingly easy to make. But what that means is they're going to essentially work like the Essentia jars, the Void Essentia jars. So once these things are full, the system will still pump items into them, but any excess will just get pumped off into the void, so I can only have a maximum that it says there. So for that one will be 24,576, which is an obscene amount that I'll probably never reach, but it also means it's not going to clog up my drives when I get too much of this stuff. So for example, cobblestone, I've already hit that. I've spent a while sort of decompressing cobblestone, letting this thing fill up just to make sure it worked, and it does. So if I go and grab some products of cobble in here, I've still got some compressed in here that I've been meaning to do. So if I decompress this stuff, you can see I've got 57,344. I can chuck all this stuff in there, and it's still going to be 57,344. So that's pretty good, and the reason it's doing that is because I've made sure that this is a higher priority than drives. So if I right click on the storage buses that I've set up to import cobblestone, and I can also take it out since it's on bi-directional. But if we look on this storage priority, I've set this to 64, and I've done that for all of these, and I've set my drives to 1. So that essentially means these are the first things it wants to store in and the only things it wants to store in. These are the last things it wants to store in, because we want to save space on our drives if we can, because why not? Because they're expensive to make and barrels are cheap. So it's just going to keep on pumping cobblestone as the quarry mines it, or I find some more and chuck it in. It's always going to be putting it into here, and since it's a void barrel and it's set at capacity, it's basically just going to go into the bin while we still have that 57,000, because why would you ever need more than 57,000 cobblestone? I can't think of a reason. So yeah, I got the barrels to work just about how I wanted to, and now I'm not going to be overflowing on loads of stuff that we don't need. But I'm going to move most of this Applied Energistics stuff, and I'm going to move it up to, I think, this floor up here, or that one, either one, so I can do some more automation and stuff with it. I'm probably going to move this little steel production line as well. Maybe put that up there somewhere as well. And the reason I want to do this is because I want to essentially do the same thing that I've kind of done with this magic hand mirror, where I can chuck stuff in and have it instantly get put into our storage system. I will do it the other way around. I want to be able to access my storage system from anywhere in the world, and I know how to do that, but we're going to need a little more space than we've got here. So I'm going to move all this stuff up to there and connect it all up, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I've moved all of our ME stuff over here along with our barrels and reset them up, make sure the priorities are all good and all of that. So I want to get on to make sure I can access this thing wirelessly, and the way we're going to do that is with logistics pipes, which we have over here. So we're going to be needing a ton, well, not a ton, just a couple of basic logistics pipes, and as you can see, these things are pretty expensive. So we need a diamond transport pipes first of all, which is glass and 2 diamonds. Ouch. But we should only need to make 1 set of them, so that's fine. And then we need some cobblestone pipes, cobblestone and glass. Cool. This is all the Buildcraft pipe stuff, which is something that we didn't get into, but that's not too big of a deal, because I always prefer using this ME system. I found it a lot easier. I don't need one of these lovely golden gears, which take a while to make, because they are annoying. And then I keep clicking on the wrong thing. Right, so we've got our wood one. I need a stone one. Stone. Then from stone we want an iron. Iron. Then from iron one to gold. Gold. There we go. Now we should be able to make this thing. Oh, I just need a redstone torch. Fair enough. Let's make one of them. Let's make a few of them. They're useful to have around anyway. There you go. And there we go. We have some basic logistic pipes. Awesome. So the next thing we're going to be wanting to make is a thingy that I've forgotten the name of. Provider pipe, I believe. Provider logistic pipe, or there is a slightly better one. There is a Mark II version. Somewhere in here. Oh, I just searched the thing properly. Provider. There we go. Cool, yeah, so we can have a Mark II. I think I'm going to go for a Mark II. Well, that needs a diamond gear on top of the normal pipe, okay. Well, let's go for a basic one first. I might upgrade to a Mark II later. So if that will need the basic logistics pipe, a gold gear, and 2 redstone. I should have made some more of these gears, really, shouldn't I? Let's do that this time. There we go. Applied logistics pipe is done. Cool. So we need one of them. Go away, focus pouch, don't need you in there. And the other thing we're going to be needing is a remote order pipe. Remote order logistics pipe, that's the one. Basic logistics pipe, ender pearl, and redstone. That was a little easier. Cool. One of them. And yeah, we're going to be needing the remote for that as well. Remote. It's this one, remote orderer. Cool. 2 diamond gears. Okie dokie. Let's make a couple of them. That wasn't right, apparently. Why wasn't it right? Because it wants me to do it through a 4th gear. I don't want to do it through a 4th gear. I want to do it through gold, please. 3 gold. There we go. Make 2 of them. Oh, this is taking up a lot of diamonds so far. This is up to, what, 10 diamonds so far? Ouch. Well, can't be helped if we want something as awesome as this. And that's all that done. Cool. We're also going to be needing an ME interface. That's the one. As usual, Applied Energistics stuff, which I should have. Yes, I do. So I keep making loads of it when I remember. And the last thing we want, I'll get onto a little bit. Okay, cool. So we've got our basic bits and bobs. So first thing we want to plonk down is our ME interface, right next to our ME controller. And then we're going to put down our provider logistics pipe. Boop, there you are. And our remote order logistics pipe. Boop, there you are. And then we right click this remote order logistics pipe with our remote orderer. Bing, and they're linked. So as for what we've just done, the ME interface is the interface between Applied Energistics and logistics pipes, or it can interface between other things as well. But logistics pipes and ME and Applied Energistics work incredibly well together. They were built and designed to work together, which is very nice for us because it lets us do this cool thing. So the provider pipe is essentially going to let this little mini pipe network know all of the items in here thanks to the ME interface because they're all linked. And the remote orderer is going to let us order items through this pipe. So now this remote orderer we've got in our inventory is connected to this thing. We can right click and we can see our entire inventory. Cool. So then if we find what we want, we can search, say we want some wood and I want some oak wood planks. Sure, let's go for some of them. We can choose how many we want. So let's get, say, 15. So it goes up by 1, down by 1, up by 10, down by 10. So let's request 5 wood planks. And you can see over there, they just popped out the end of that pipe. Awesome. That's not very helpful to giving it to us in the field though. So the next thing we're going to be needing is an ender chest. Ender chest. And we want this one from ender storage specifically. So let's grab us one of them. So that's blaze rods, a chest, obsidian, wool, and ender pearl. We've got all of that. No, we don't. I don't have any wool, really? Or a chest. Chests are easy. Let's make a ton of those. Going to be making some more barrels later anyway. And that needs them. So I really not have any wool. Okay. Oh, I've got cotton. I'll take cotton. Is that 4 or 9? I never remember. 9. Cool. Make me a stack of wool. There we go. Thank you, cotton. I love you sometimes. Ender. Chest, that one. Make me the thing. We have an ender chest. Awesome. And I'm also going to grab some lapis so I can dye this thing as well. Okay, so our ender chest is going to go on top of our remote order logistics pipe. So anything that's pipe that we request on our remote order here is going to get pumped into that ender chest. And the thing about these ender storage ender chests is we can dye the top so we can have many different sets of ender chests. So I'm going to dye this one white, blue, white. Why not? Just right click on the specific blob that you want to dye, and that is our code, white, blue, white. Cool. So then to pick up whatever's pumped into here in the field, we want an ender pouch. Oop, and ender ouch. Ender usually is ouch, yes, but I can't spell. There we go, that's what I want, an ender pouch. What's that? Ender pearl, blaze powder, leather, and wool. That's all dead easy. So I need to make some more blaze powder though, which I can just craft out of our blaze rods that we're generating. Cool, make a ton of that. There we go, have an ender pouch. So then we can just hold shift and right click on our ender chest, and that copies the pattern onto our ender pouch. So now we open this, it opens the chest as well, because these two are linked. Awesome! Let's get rid of some of this rubbish that we don't need. Oh, that can go away. Awesome. So now when we open this thing up and order a whatever, say I want a piece of sulfur. Request successful. Open up our ender pouch, it's given us some sulfur. That is pretty sweet. And then if I decide I don't want it, I can just open my magical hand mirror and chuck the sulfur in there. Goes back into the system. I love it. Well, actually, it won't go back to the system at the moment because I haven't hooked up this to the rest of the system, but I will do. Cool. So now, no matter where we are in the world, we can get anything we want from our system. This thing doesn't have a range on it, so we can just run away forever and we'll still be able to get all of our items and pull our items back again. So awesome! We can just pick up our items from anywhere we want. And that is going to be really useful for when I'm off wandering around, getting dungeons, that kind of thing. Should be pretty fun. Alright, so the next thing I want to get onto with our storage system here is making some automated crafting. So essentially what I want to do with that is, when we're in our storage system and we've got full up on loads of stuff, see a regular one that we always run into is wood. We have some wood, we want some wood, we've got a ton of logs. We go, oh no, we've run out again, have to drag it out, craft it, make some more planks, fine, chuck that in there, then craft the thing. No, that just takes far too long. It takes all of about 10 seconds. Bah, useless. But we can automate that instead. So what we're going to do is essentially make a big machine that's going to be able to craft things for us. So it's going to be able to do that little bit of plonk of wood in a crafting table and take it out again. So we can just take the wood straight out of here and it'll craft it for us out of the logs. So I'm going to get onto that. Okay, so I've gone ahead and made all the stuff that I need to start automatically crafting some stuff. And I've even made a few patterns. This is kind of take two. The first take had me running away into the nether to get some more nether quartz for a while. So yay for that. Yeah, if you thought this little system was expensive, you're going to love this one. This stuff is crazy expensive, but totally worth it. So the things that we're going to be needing for this, we're going to need an assembler containment wall. Let's look at the recipe for that. That is iron, gold and Certus quartz. And you're going to be needing a lot of that. And that's per each one, so fun. So we're going to be laying this out in a little pattern like so. Essentially we're making the outer frame of this thing out of these assembler containment walls. And I'm just making a fairly standard sized one with 4 blocks in the middle, because that seems like a good size to me. You can make these different sizes as well. I think they have to be regular. But you can make like a 3x3 one, or a something that'll give you like one space for one pattern provider in the middle, which probably isn't enough, so whatever. Anyway, also go for 5x5, that's going to be way expensive. So then, in between all the frames on the outside walls, we're putting these heat vents, because apparently this thing gets very hot. Sure, I'll roll with that. So how to make these again? These are iron ingots, iron bars, and heavy cable each. So again, not cheap at all. But the really expensive stuff now, we need pattern providers, which is a load of Applied Energistics stuff, so loads more Certus quartz and nether quartz, and a diamond each, thanks to the advanced processor, which needs a diamond in it. Ouch. But it's going to be worth it, I promise. So we're going to plonk 4 of them down. These can kind of go in any place as long as they're within this middle section, contained by the heat vents in the outer walls. And we also need pattern providers. That was uses, that was not recipe. That one was recipe. And guess what? More diamonds. Yep, even more. It's painful, I know. So quite a few diamonds gone into this thing, but it'll all be worth it. So let's finish this off with our heat vent, and we should see it turn into a multi-block. And it did. Cool. Awesome. So that's hooked straight up with our MA cable. Awesome. So what this thing does, I'm just going to check these patterns that I made in here, and I'll go through it. This is going to be our big crafting chamber that's going to make us things. So what else we need to do this is we need a pattern encoder, and that is this thing, which is a lot easier to make. It's just a conversion matrix. I'm going to stick this in here as well, seeing as this is our little pattern bit, and that's going to let us encode patterns that we're going to put in there that basically tells it how to craft things. And I've also made a crafting monitor, which I'll explain a little later. Don't worry about it for now, but it's just going to be there. Okay, so next we need blank patterns. So if I search blank pattern and look how to make that, so that's just iron ingots, glowstone dust, certus quartz and glass. Not too bad, except I don't have enough glowstone dust. So sorry, sorry Oz Magical Room, I'm stealing your glowstone dust because I need it. And let's whack that in there. Cool. And we have a blank pattern. Awesome. Oh, let's grab a second one. Why not? So we're going to bring these over to our pattern encoder and stick them in the top here. And what pattern should we teach this thing? What's the basic thing that I haven't taught it yet? Let's have a look in our ME system. Actually, I've got loads of iron that I've compressed in here, so I'm going to tell it how to uncompress this iron and turn it back into ingots. Oops, that'll be kind of useful, I think. So a nice thing about NEI here is that you don't actually need to bring the items with you, because you're already putting ghost items and you're not putting actual items into them. We can just shift click, I want uses on that, find the right one, that's the one there, and I can just shift click on the question mark and it'll put the item in for me even though I don't have it. Awesome. So we just hit encode and there we go, that's put that pattern onto that thing. So we'll just right click anywhere on there, plonk it into our assembler. Awesome. So then if we come back here and we search for iron, I should have done this with something better because this is not something I've run out of. Just put this back to something sensible so it doesn't warp around. Okay, there we go. Take all the iron out. So when I don't have any of it left, I can see this craft thing here, so it doesn't have a number. And I can click on that and tell it how many to craft. So I want it to craft me 10 of them. Go for it. And you can see it did that pretty quickly. Very quickly indeed. It also made me 18 because that's how many the pattern makes. Cool. So now, if we ever run out of anything, we'll just see that little craft thing and we can make some more. Awesome. But what happens if you haven't got enough resources to craft what you want to craft? So for example, I know that my blank pattern here, I don't have enough to craft. I tore out that pattern as well. So if I tell it to craft that thing, and it doesn't craft because we know we haven't got the ingredients for it, but we wouldn't do, say we don't know that we haven't got the ingredients for it. We're just sat there wondering what the hell's going on, and that's why I made this crafting monitor. So I'm probably going to put this downstairs next to my terminal, put it down there so I can see what's going on with it. So if we right click on this thing, we can see that it's making a blank pattern, and we can see down here in the missing materials that it's missing 3 glowstone dust. Now we've got several crafting thingies in there, crafting CPUs I think they were. So I think we could do more than one recipe at a time, but all the same, this will just kind of jam up a CPU. So if we shift and click that, that'll get rid of that and let it carry on working and crafting other things. Good to know, good to have, awesome. Now actually, one thing that I'm not sure on is, will our remote orderer let us craft things? So if we search blank pattern, nah, it won't let us craft things. That's kind of a shame. But I guess it's kind of expected, seems we're using multiple mods to do something here. Makes sense to me. Oh well, what can you do? So yeah, that is the basics of ME crafting. It's not too tough to do, it's very expensive to get started on. So I think I'm going to carry on making loads of blank patterns, well, after I go mining the nether, again, yay. More glowstone and nether quartz. And then I'm going to carry on making a load of blank patterns for all the basic stuff that we don't need to worry about crafting, we don't want to bother with crafting. All those extra little ME things that I don't want to do. So cool, I'm going to get on with that, and then I think in the next one, I'm going to set up our little steel thing down here. We can set up that crafting, big crafting terminal thing, crafting machine block. I said crafting so many times in this bloody episode. So we can set up that thing so it can automatically make us steel by pumping it through our metallurgical infusers, I believe. So I think next time I'm going to get into that. But I better do some testing with it first to make sure it works. But that's going to do it for this one. So thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm SuperStrewdel, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.